Gospel of Matthew chapter 8. Welcome back to Bible Breakdowns Daily. Jesus has just finished the Sermon on the Mount. The mountain is still echoing with his words. The crowds are still stunned by his authority. And as he comes down the hillside, the kingdom of heaven begins to break into the world in ways no one has ever seen. Matthew chapter 8 is a chapter of miracles, not random acts of power, but signs that the king has arrived. As Jesus comes down from the mountain, a man with leprosy approaches him. Leprosy was feared, painful, disfiguring, isolating. People ran from lepers. Laws kept them far from society. No one touched them. But this man kneels before Jesus and says, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Everyone watching expects Jesus to step back. Instead, Jesus steps forward. He reaches out his hand and touches him, something no one had done in years. "I am willing," Jesus says, "be clean." And instantly, the man is cleansed. Jesus tells him to show himself to the priest and offer the gift Moses commanded, not for show but as a testimony. Next, Jesus enters Capernaum, where a Roman centurion, a military officer, comes to him. This is shocking. Rome ruled Israel. Centurions were not expected to bow to anyone, but this one does. "Lord," he says, "my servant is lying at home paralyzed, suffering terribly." Jesus answers, "Shall I come and heal him?" But the centurion says something extraordinary. "Lord, I am not worthy for you to come under my roof. Just say the word, and my servant will be healed." He explains that he understands authority. When he gives a command, soldiers obey. And he believes Jesus has that same authority over sickness. Jesus is amazed. He turns to the crowd and says, "I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." And then he looks at the centurion and says, "Go, let it be done just as you believed." At that moment, the servant is healed. Jesus goes to Peter's house, where Peter's mother-in-law is lying sick with a fever. Jesus simply takes her hand and the fever leaves her. She gets up and begins to serve them. That evening, people bring Jesus many who are demon-possessed and suffering. Jesus drives out the spirits with a word and heals all the sick. Matthew says this fulfills Isaiah's prophecy. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. A teacher of the law comes to Jesus and says, "I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus responds, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Following Jesus will require sacrifice. Another disciple says, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." Jesus answers, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own dead." Jesus is not dismissing family. He is emphasizing urgency. When the king calls, nothing comes before him. Jesus and his disciples get into a boat to cross the lake. A sudden storm strikes, fierce winds, crashing waves, the boat filling with water. The disciples panic. Some of them are experienced fishermen, and even they fear they're about to die. Meanwhile, Jesus is asleep. They shake him awake, shouting, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." Jesus rises and says, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then he speaks to the wind and the waves. Just a word, and the storm becomes completely calm. The disciples whisper among themselves, "What kind of man is this?" Even the winds and the waves obey him. When they reach the other side, in the region of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men come out from the tombs. They are violent, dangerous, and no one can pass that way because of them. But when they see Jesus, the demons cry out, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come to torture us before the appointed time?" A herd of pigs is feeding nearby. The demons beg Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the pigs." Jesus says one word, "Go!" The demons leave the men and enter the pigs. The entire herd rushes down a steep bank into the lake and drowns. The pig herders run into town to tell everyone what happened. The whole town comes out to meet Jesus, and instead of welcoming him, they beg him to leave their region. The power of God frightens them more than the evil they were used to. Lesson and reflection. Matthew chapter 8 reveals Jesus' authority. He touches the untouchable, and they are made clean. He heals with a word even from miles away. He calms storms that terrify seasoned fishermen. Demons tremble before him and obey instantly. This chapter shows us that Jesus' authority covers every part of life. Sickness, suffering, nature, fear, distance, demons, and human hearts. The leper shows faith in Jesus' willingness. The centurion shows faith in Jesus' authority. The storm shows faith is built in the moments when you feel like God is asleep. And the townspeople show that some hearts prefer comfort over transformation. Jesus is not just a teacher. He is the King, and his kingdom pushes back darkness wherever he goes. That's Matthew chapter 8, a chapter filled with miracles, authority, compassion, and power. Next time, in Matthew chapter 9, Jesus continues healing, calling sinners, confronting the religious leaders, and revealing the heart of God through compassion and courage. Stay tuned.